Hey people, that last movie I posted, it was partially blocked for copyright. I had a minute of a PBS trailer video in there, and they didn't like that, so I remade it. This is the same movie. I just throw a couple more words in there about why I redid it. So in that movie, I read the first half of this first chapter of Havacok. But after reading the rest of the book, it's just 3 short chapters. And it's only used twice. And I figured out this where the words the havoc of comes from. So it really says both, it says these Havacok and these havoc of. The havoc of in via, in the way, in transport. And so you know that this is the origin of havoc. Because they'll say it's an old French word coming from Havoc. Anglo-Norman French havoc. And of an unknown origin. Anytime something comes from the Hebrew Bible, that's what they'll tell you. It's of unknown origin. They don't want anybody to learn how to read the Hebrew. And as I read the rest of the book, it's of old French, the crier Havoc. And they cry Havoc to give an army the order to havoc, which was a signal for plundering, to take all, kill all the children, knock up all the women. They're trying to change the bloodline. And that's what this book was about. So this word profit, definitely means money. And in via, that's where your money's at, in the transportation. You don't have to make the product, you just have to get it where it's got to go to somebody who wants it. And I noticed, very little of this book has the A in it, or has the tack in it. I tell you, it has 2 more different readings when you read with the codes. And the last 2 lines, there's none at all. All 3 times you read it, it reads the same every time. It doesn't change. There's no directional changes in it. But you do see different words if you've been reading with other directions. You have something else on your mind, and it will change the words up when you read it again, even though it doesn't have the directional markings. But I read it the easy way, and that's the only way I can get 9 lines in fast. And I didn't stop and explain it all. It all read fairly English. It must be one of the latest books written. And I stopped there at 9. And so I'm going to get these 10 through 17 in these 8 lines in here. And I'm going to explain this better in the next movie. We're going to look at this Greek Genesis 3. And it totally explains, you're not to go naked. And it means the writings have to be coded. And that's why all the ancient libraries were burnt. And this book was allowed because it was coded. And so that's not even the word for nakas. This is the word for the nakos here. The ones that go naked. The nakos. Go nakos. And it plainly says, and adios. Adios. To go with God mean bye-bye. Bye-bye. Adios. It's go naked it out, and that's what a father says to his daughter when she comes down the stairs, to go out and she's half dressed. He says, what is this? What is this you did? And adios, the go naked it out. And so that's what it's talking about, is hiding the secrets in the language with the hyphen. And I didn't catch it before because I never thought to just read it straight through. I figured out that all those extra markings had a code, and I figured out the code first. And it would have been easier if I'd have just read it straight. I might not have understood it as quick, but it plainly says that they wrote it like this. The hyphen is where the information's hidden when you read it backwards. And so that last line ended with, why is fuck who'll save? Meaning, and we'll see who loses this fight. Why is fuck who'll save? And then it's, and who of Milcom it falls where's in 'em. And so who of Milcom, that's the king. He's milking everybody out their taxes. and it falls, what comes from where's in 'em. It falls where's in 'em. It's his sons, it's the princes. And from shuffle and we, and then walk, W-A-L-K. From shuffle we walk. They born with the purple robe and the crown and the silver spoon. And who of Malcolm it falls where's in 'em. From shuffle we walk. And the limits, LMBX, the stronghold. And we walk from the shuffle we walk. The limits is check. And which bear offer who liked, why liked, and seize it and take whatever you like. Havoc. And as helper, which, why ever, whoever, and help yourself, and then changes his mind and he transgresses, why ever, over, this is where that word comes from, to pass over, the one on top. And as helper, which, why ever, wasums, W-A-S-M-Z, wasums a catch will all who, wasums a catch will all who, and a catch will all who, that's laws made where they can get anybody they want at any time. You look suspicious. They always got a reason to frisk you. If a woman's out, she's doing something wrong. A woman ain't supposed to left the house, And wasum's a catch will all who. The halo, the glow over the head. The halo, Adam Fedum. You, the all they pedestal, my holy one. To put him up on the pedestal. You all that. And the halo, the big glow over her head. And the halo, Adam Fedum. When you told them to fed them, you the all they pedestal, the pedestal on them what, N-M-U-T, the pedestal on them what, and on the pedestal was the gods, and the jewel, Jewel, the jewelum sepsum too. Except the jewel, the jewelum sepsum too, and the rock, and so the rock is coming from this backwards, the R-U-X, rocks, but this what's where, and the jewelum sepsum too, what's where, of, L is of who kick aside to. And so you stole that jewel from somebody you killed for the correction of who kick. And you have marked them, and that's aside. Everything having to do with death is aside, suicide, homicide, and left aside the road, aside to, and of who kick aside to. And they're oying 'em more of trow, the bite. Their oying is with a V is voying, and that's watching, the voying, watching. But this is calling, and they're calling. And the more of trow, T-R-O-W, the trousers, the vite. And what you're looking at there is more of the trow, that ass. And the ass looks inviting. And all a meal, the wickedness. Like I say, that's the one that's working hard, the toil, the labor. And all a meal let a call, to let 'em eat. And to cull 'em it bite. And bugged 'em. And on those who deal treacherously. In bugdom there is babble, the babble of. Babble means the confusion or the language of babble. And the language of Babylon. And the babble of her so it's dick. It's dick menu. The double M is a M-I-N-U, the menu. And so it's dick. This is a scales. It's the side if, and it's the judgment, and it's the one who has the say, the dictator. But it's also, it's dick menu, and that's what's on the menu is what I have to say. I'm dictating. And so, and do you make men is, and to seed 'em, and to seed 'em, could you do it, and could you him? So it's talking about the cremes, the cream of the crop, the royals, the cremes, and to seed 'em, could you him, cremes, la muscle vous, the royal of the muscle, the rule army, the muscle of who, the muscle into, la muscle into, and clee, that's attached. Remember I found that in 9, what caught me there, and clee in cheek hole. And so, put your hook, the clee in the cheek hole. And all of them with a hook, they take up. And so that's where they're getting this fish from over here. Could you? The digi is given the meaning fish in Genesis 1. And the K usually comes at the end when it says your. And the beginning is like. And clee in cheek hole. The urge who. Is what you want, the urge who. In charm too. That's their net, the charm. That's how they catch them. In the charm too. Who has few? Why is few? How is few? Who is few? And make more too. All kinism a wiggle. That's what happens when you get your fish on the hook. And they go to wiggle. The clee and cheek hole urge who, in charm to, who has few and make more too. All kinism a wiggle. And all kin is bitch. The bitch is the one going up on the altar to be sacrificed. It's a bitch because you get in divide, and to make cut in divide. The sacrifice gets butchered. And all kin is bitch. Of charm to ho fatter. Of make more too. You got more money for the fat cow, for the fat hog to make more too. And to see in them. And this isn't just in them, but this is hema. This is blood, to see in the blood. And see in 'em semen. And have to. You're looking at the girl and you find out, oh, she looks like she might be my daughter, And see in the blood and semen the have to. And have to a call of rest. And so you always see this, right close. They'll name another word, but you'll see it plainly. The fatter. Who fatter? Who fatter of make more to. The see in 'em semen have to a call, a clue in rest. And the all kenner if charm. That's a dude who's trying to screw all the women in the all kenner if you charm, if you got the charm with you. A charm too. And what idle urge go that's not goyim, that's the go. The foot to go. And to go lay come will. And the all kenner if charm to. What idle urge go lay come will. So this charm that comes up 3 times, like I say, this reads a couple different times, and one time it's the charm, the CHERMO, the charm, and sometimes it's the harem. And so it seems like it's the harem the first time you read just through. Is the bitch of harem too, in the net, and clee and cheek, put a hook in them, and in the cheek hole, and the urge who in the harem. And so I don't believe it's the charm until you come back and read the second time with the directional markings, and then it becomes the all knocking, knockingism, and that takes a little charm. So I just put all this together. I haven't watched over it a whole lot while I've been making it, and so I'm gonna post this because I'm wanting to get on to the next one, and y'all give me a thumbs up, or I'm gonna leave a message down there and give me a thumbs up on it if you can understand any of this. Not all of it, just any of it. And I'm gonna cut this off here with a little picture of this, and this is what everybody needs to study. Don't worry about what's going on in this spiritual over here. This is all something they made up to try to make the King James fit the language. And just study these letters, and these letters, they're the same. It gives you an idea of what the old picture was supposed to be. And if not, you can look at the word and it tells you what the picture means. And get an idea of these words here and these words here that match up to it. And this is all I use to read this and what little bit of English that I know. I'm gonna cut this off here. Good day.